Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan Battle video. Today we're going to go and take a look at this guy right here. So Shugesh, one of the free-to-play Bardock squad, actually got his EZA here. I think he'll be okay. I don't think he's anything too super impactful or impressive. Just one of those things where one of his category teams that he's on. So let's go and take a look at the categories he's got. So he's got Team Bardock, Low Class Warrior, Pure Saiyan, Space Traveling Warrior, and Storied Figure, right? If you have to do some sort of maybe Legendary Vegeta event mission or something like that for one of these categories, I think Shugesh with his defensive stacking could be good. I think when it comes to a Super Battle Road stage, provided Shugesh is paired with the right ally, he could definitely put in work. Let me just read his passive real quick, because a lot of what he's doing, it's just sort of conditional, and specifically for Super Battle Road. So he gets 150% attack and defense at the start of turn. He gets another 50% attack and defense with a Team Bardock ally in the turn. Then he does a guaranteed crit if the enemy is stunned. He does a guaranteed stun if the enemy is sealed. And then he has a guaranteed additional that has a high chance to be a super if the enemy is attack debuffed or defensive debuffed. So it's like when pairing him with some of these other Team Bardock members in like a Team Bardock Super Battle Road, I think Shugesh can be fairly impactful. I'm going to keep him in slot 1 right here just to make sure we get our attacks off. I could put Fasha right here, but she might finish Vegeta off. Remember, Fasha does support. Alright, so this is Shugesh. He has Team Bardock, Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Pride, Saiyan Lineage, Tough as Nails, Prepare for Battle, and Shattered the Limit. So we have everything activated except for Tough as Nails. Remember that Tough as Nails is a defensive link, a very good one at that. Right, what does it give? 20% defense and 5% damage reduction. Incredibly powerful. So he's at 133k defense at the start. This is with no support. Not really the craziest. We are on the 170% Pure Saiyan team, too. And like a 2.4 million attack set. Yeah, it's... I actually do like this free-to-play EZ8. Like, I feel like Shugesh is good. Just because he's not going to be great everywhere, right? Obviously, as a free-to-play unit. But they did design him to where he will be, I think, fairly impactful in, like, you know, certain specific content, which is good. I think that's a really good way to build these characters in that fashion, right? Alright, so let's get through this stage right here. I'm actually just going to go ahead and do this right there. Bam. Let's get through this Majin Vegeta. Then on this next turn, we'll have Fasha get her support, and then she'll also debuff the enemy. So that way Shugesh could potentially, he's going to get the guaranteed additional, and then he could potentially triple super. Shugesh could. And a triple super attack would be pretty good for him, because remember, he does stack defense. He also greatly raises attack for 1 turn and does supreme damage to the enemy. So, a pretty powerful sort of like effect there. Alright, so we want Fasha to go first. He's up to 196k. I mean, he does have now the support from Broly and Paragus. The 40% support. Remember that they support Pure Saiyans and Joint Forces. Okay, so let's see how Shugesh does right here. Remember, Fasha's support would kick in. So he'd be at maybe, like, I think 240 or 50. Because remember, her support's a little bit stronger than just, like, 30%. And then, of course, Shugesh will be stacking. I mean, again, you guys can see that he is a free-to-play EZA. Like, it's sort of basic. Not really too much for us to completely go over here. Wait, did she dodge? Damn it, I looked away. Ah, no. Well, okay. I actually... No! Damn it! Alright, well, whatever. Then there's an additional. Okay. And then he didn't get his hidden potential system additional. Okay. So, let me know what you guys think of our boy Shugesh here. Again, considering, like, long events, they did add several missions to the GT Legendary Goku event and the Legendary Vegeta event during the 7th anniversary. So I would not be surprised to see them add in more missions like that. Wow! They both transformed on turn 4. Are you kidding me? That's not common. Alright. Sure. That is very uncommon for these Evolution Blue Vegetas to, like, both transform. Wow. I mean, shit, I'll take it. Sure. Alright, so we'll get one more rotation with Shugesh here. Then we'll probably go to Space Traveling Warriors. That, of course, is a pretty good turn to sort of see, you know, some of these characters like Shugesh and the Team Bardock characters look a little bit better, right? Again, Shugesh does get that extra 50% attack and defense with the Team Bardock category ally in the turn. Considering the stats and stuff like that we're seeing from Shugesh, I don't think you ever want to run Shugesh without a Team Bardock unit around. No way. Just based off of what we're seeing. So he's at 234 right there. Remember, we are getting support from both version Z Goku and Fasha, provided that Fasha gets her dodge in right here. But we need her to actually get her dodge. Because once she gets the dodge, then that support kicks in. The support that's very good. There we go. Boom. So now both versions, Goku and Shugesh, got a nice little support buff. So Shugesh is breaking like 300k defense right here. What turn is this? Turn 5? Yeah, I mean, again, in a legendary event, like, because Tora also stacks. So let's just say Storied Figures becomes a mission for the legendary Vegeta event. You could do a rotation of Shugesh and Tora, and like that would work for like a no item run in the legendary Vegeta event for sure. So he's got value. Alright guys, we'll get a couple more turns. We're over here on the Space Traveling Warrior category team. Again, we could just see a couple of more turns of what Shugesh has to offer, but it's not really too much more we could sort of like talk about with this guy. It's just, you know, he's a character that will stack up defensively, right? So we could see that defense really sort of build up so he could be useful for, again, Legendary Vegeta event mission, Legendary GT Legendary Goku event mission. I think if you're running like a full Team Bardock setup, Shugesh could certainly help in Super Battle Road stages. 3.7 right there, okay. Shugesh could certainly help in Super Battle Road stages, right? Considering, you know, he potentially could get a guaranteed crit if the enemy's stunned. He can do a guaranteed stun if the enemy is sealed, right? Like, you know, having abilities like that are fairly useful, and will certainly allow him to at least help out quite a bit, right? I like a lot of these Team Bardock EZAs. I think they are solid. I think the Team Bardock EZAs and a lot of the Ginyu Force EZAs are solid because they built them in certain ways where they can definitely help, you know, if they're under the umbrella of better units a lot of the times, right? Like, the full Ginyu Force team does work, even with some lesser characters on it, because of just how dominant the big guns are on that Ginyu Force category team, right? So I think we'll do 2 more rotations right here. We'll do this rotation. What's his defense up to? 172. Okay. So remember that his defense, this is where it's hard to see because we don't see what the support buff from Fasha brings his defense up to. Again, I know that it is bigger than just a 30% support type buff, right? So I believe he might go as high as like 250 just from her support buff. Probably, I think more like 230-ish. It's probably where it goes. It's hard to say for sure. I'm not exactly one of the math guys, right? 1 + 1 = 2. That's a little above my pay grade, brah. All right, 3.59. Sure. Okay, so again, we'll do 1 more turn with the LR Team Bardock on rotation, and then we'll probably finish up. So let me know what you guys are thinking about our boy Shugesh. Do you guys like him? You think he's okay? I think he's solid. Again, if they do for the Ginyu Force, if they do that for Team Bardock that they did for the Ginyu Force, where they gave a dominant Dokkan Fest, who I think is far and away the best CUR in the game. I think Raccoon and Gold are the best banner unit in the game, and then Jason Bird are no slouch as well, right? So, like, if they do the same thing for the Bardock squad, then they Rainbow and EZA the LR Team Bardock, and all of a sudden, Team Bardock will be a very powerful team. Seriously, I think it could be very good, you know, provided that we get, like, a huge, dominant, like, Bardock and stuff like that to put on the team. It would be very interesting to see. So he's up to 255. This should be the highest attack stat that we've seen from Shugesh in the entire run. Let's go ahead and see. Let's see what attack stat Shugesh gets right here. And again, we'll go ahead and finish up. Not really too much to sort of say about this guy or do with this guy, right? He does have some limitations in that you have to use him with other Team Bardock members, but it's like, you know, I don't have an issue with that. I think, like, limiting free-to-play units to, you know, certain events or certain teams or something like that is really not that big of a deal, considering that they're not going to be summonable units who are great everywhere, right? Like, that's exactly how we make these free-to-play units good, is by slightly limiting them to, like, certain teams, right? Or, you know, in certain events. I would much rather, you know, Shugesh be the way he is, where he's very good for, like, Legendary Vegeta and GT Legendary Goku event, and he could be solid in Super Battle Road, than, like, you know, just trying evening him out across, like, every team or across every event. It doesn't work with free-to-play characters. You can do that with summonable characters, but free-to-play characters, again, that just definitely does not work. I just want to put him in slot 1 this time and just sort of see what attacks that he gets right here. We're up to 286, so... I mean, he doesn't build the slowest ever. He builds up a little too slow for Red Zone, I think. But, like, you know, with really powerful, like a Dokkan Fest Bardock or something like that, he could work in Red Zone, I think. Shugesh, I do think so. I think Shugesh, Tora, Fasha, like, these characters could work in the Red Zone, provided that they have, again, a big, powerful options to sort of go in front of them. So, there we go. There is the EZA Shugesh. Alright guys, this is Ruffian Strike Shugesh. His leader skills low class warrior category key 3 and 77% of stats, or physical type key 3 and 50% of stats. His super attack is the Wild Bomber, which stacks defense, greatly raises attack for 1 turn, and does supreme damage to the enemy. Now, even though he does have 2 effects on here, he does have the normal defensive stacking sort of like buff of 30%, right? Remember that a character like Int UI Goku, he's getting 20% when he stacks defense because he's stacking attack and defense. But this is sort of like kind of like written or worded, I feel like, in a similar fashion to like the GT Dokkan Fest or like Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku, where it's kind of just like different separate effects as part of the same super attack effect. Shugesh's passive, Wild Charge, gives him 150% attack and defense at the start of turn. Then he gets an additional 50% attack and defense if there's another Team Bardock category ally attacking in the same turn. He is really going to need that for sure. He does a guaranteed crit if the enemy is stunned. He does a guaranteed stun if the enemy is sealed. And then he has an additional that's a high chance of being a super if the enemy is attack debuffed or defensive debuffed. His links are Team Bardock, Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Pride, Saiyan Lineage, Tough as Nails, Prepare for Battle, Shattering the Limit. Definitely a good link set for the Team Bardock characters. 12 kill multiplier, 135%. There actually is an EZA he potentially could help you get Zenian, Int Kid Buu. He could potentially help in the Int Kid Buu EZA. And then finally, there's a few categories that our boy Shugesh is on. So, of course, he is on the Team Bardock category, which could become one of the best teams in the game, believe it or not. It only takes 1 Dokkan Fest, and this could actually be one of the best teams in the game. Then, of course, he's also on Low Class Warrior, which... The thing about giving Team Bardock, like, you know, like exactly what I've described, like what they did for Ginyu, is it just makes a bunch of these teams, like, legitimate now. Then, essentially, you could run a real Team Bardock team. You could run a real low-class warrior team right here, right? Pure Saiyan, of course, is one of the best teams in the game anyway. Space Traveling Warriors is a very, very good category anyway. But then also, Storied Figures right here. Another team, you know. Storied Figures has got, like, a bunch of good units sort of just, like, scattered in here. But, like, I don't know that any of them are... right, like, you have... Again, a couple of good characters in here, but a lot of them aren't really working too well together. That's why, like, if, you know, Team Bardock is just a powerful team, then Storied Figures, Low Class Warrior, and Team Bardock all become, like, you know, just you run the Bardock squad, and you're good. So, there's that. One other thing, in terms of his defense at the start of turn, one reason it starts out so low is even after this guy is EZA'd, look at that defense. 8,000? That's really bad. It's just very low, which is why his defense is so low. He does stack at a pretty decent clip. All in all, Shugesh is not horrible. This, I think, is definitely a decent unit. So, let me know what you guys think about our boy EZA Shugesh. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.